Uh, Roll call, Lehman,
Here.
Mendoza,
Here.
Lake, we're all present. Minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move to approve. Second.
Move to approve by Mendoza and second by Lehman. Lehman,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Lake, yes. The minutes are approved. Open issues.
No open issues. We're still waiting, a proposal for the traffic control map amendments.
Okay. Any new business?
I have no new business. I'd like to bring one thing up, and timely, since you were going over the things we talked at the council or at the convo with council. Yeah. I've had a couple council members mention to me that since we're making new investments in the park with the splash pad and then the inclusive playground, some feel that it's would be timely for us to revisit the Park and Recreation Board language in the ordinance. And I went and pulled that because when I first came on council, I looked at that. It's chapter 153, and it was very, very dated language. But I believe it appears that this was one of the items that had been held up and not updated on the website. And it was updated once, so the language was new to me when I revisited it. Looks like it was updated in 2022, I believe. But looking it over, it looks like there's still some things that would probably need to be revised. And I'm sure we would want to get input from, the mayor, safety service director, other council people. Looking at it, it looks like there's a reference to the recreation department, which there is none, so we'd need to look at that. References the municipal swimming pool. Also talks about interviewing and making recommendations to the city administration. There again, I think I'd want city administration's input on that, how they see that process going, if there was a need to hire someone. And then the composition of the committee or of the board. So I would like us to pick that item up, or I would suggest that based upon what I'm hearing from others. And of course, to include everyone in that product.
Something we should look into then. So, thank you.
What would our next move be with that then? Like hosting a work session or coming back at our next law and ordinance committee and giving our suggestions? And I would say maybe, and this would just be a recommendation, maybe make the obvious things. We know we don't have a recreation department on there. Clean some of that language up in a draft form. Okay. And then maybe provide it to the mayor and safety service director, anyone else he feels should be involved as far as employees in that discussion. And then take those items back and then try and come up with a draft. I think the final place it'd need to go is law director, probably, to make sure we have our language correct. But I think that we as a committee could pick up the really easy stuff. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
I do not.
Okay. Anyone from the public like to speak to the Law and Orders Committee? You may do so.
Renee Vogelsong. I'm just curious. I didn't really look that deep into the ordinances, but is there anything on, and I'll be bringing this up later in the meeting too, the council meeting, but is there anything in the ordinances of panhandling, the actual panhandlers? Because there's somebody that's getting pretty well out of hand in town, and it came pretty close to me, not to me, but somebody real close to me that just about got in a physical confrontation with this person. I think it's getting a little out of hand, and if there isn't nothing in the law and order, in the ordinances, there need to be something a little bit stiffer. I mean, I understand people needs, they're out of work, they're out of this, that, but, there's ways to do it too without being, mouthy and physical with people just to get money from them. I think it falls a little bit farther than panhandling, actually. So I just thought I'd ask and see if there's something that, so.
Thank you. Anyone else in public?
Oh, an apology. I talked out of order, but I do need to figure out what's happening on Woodward Avenue with the parking, because we have some people that have special needs and they have the Seneca Opportunity Bus that comes down that street. And I told them I would mention it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Like to speak? Okay, Don, go ahead.
I'd just like to address Renee's question about panhandling. There are no ordinances about it. I looked into it. The challenge is that a panhandler has a lot of rights, First Amendment rights, et cetera, et cetera. So the only thing we can do to really control them is if they get too aggressive, if they push you or shove you or approach you too closely for money that you're getting uncomfortable or something like that, you can call the police and then we can arrest them. But as long as they are on public property and they are not getting too aggressive, there is almost nothing we can do. I sympathize with you because I believe the same way you do.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public like to speak? Do you have any miscellaneous?
I do not.
No.
For motion to adjourn?
Can we plan for when our next
Oh,
law and
yes.
ordinance meeting will be?
Okay,
I would propose Tuesday, May 20th at 5:15.
yes. Next meeting will be 20th of May on Tuesday before finance meeting.
And then I will move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Mendoza, second by Lehman to adjourn. Lehman,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
like, we are adjourned at 5:22.